15 minutes per week, right? You can just get in shape in 15 minutes. How, Felix? How? So I'm here to answer that in 5 minutes or less, maybe even 1 minute. I don't know, see how. So the answer is this. If it depends on context, it really, really depends on context. The first context is that if you want to lose weight, if you want to see results in weight loss in 15 minutes per week, then the context here is we are not using exercise to burn calories. We are using exercise to build muscle. And the calorie burn, the amount of calorie burn that you do to weight loss is gonna come from the food that you eat, the diet. So there are various things that we are gonna do inside there in terms of food, but in terms of muscle building, now that is very important. Now that is quite interesting. How do you actually build muscle in just 15 minutes per week? I've been doing this program for the past 2 years or so. All right, 2 years, 2.5 years, quite a while, and I've seen a lot of tremendous strength gains. Now, one fun note: I do not train 15 minutes a week only, but every sessions that I go, it's around 20 minutes thereabouts. All right, and that involves that is simply because I reached this level where I cannot do that low of an amount of workout and still see results. But for most of you, and I'm talking about 99% of you who don't have the amount of muscles that I do, you're gonna need that. Doing that alone is gonna help really. And the reason is why is very, very simple. The reason is because most people are doing muscle building completely wrong, off kilter. It's like they're trying to boil water by putting the heat on the lowest setting and putting the heat or sometimes turning it up the heat, but just before the water reaches boiling point, they turn it down because they need to rest, right? So most of the time when people do workouts, they either don't understand the principles of muscle building, don't understand the principles of strength building, and they just assume a lot of things. They assume that, it's just, if I just spend the time, if I just put in the hours, I will definitely get results. It does not work that way. So to get the full science on how to get fit in just 15 minutes a week, it's not reasonable to be able to answer that in 5 minutes. But I did attach in there. I do go in depth inside my course, Union of Strength. And if you want to check out what Union of Strength is all about, it is all about transcending likes and dislikes. You can go and see the description of this video. The link is inside the description. Click on it, go and read through it. If you like what you see, purchase it, and I guarantee you it is going to be one of the best investments that you will ever make for fitness. Okay, so with that being said, that's your 5 minutes answer on how to get fit in 15 minutes a week. I'm gonna go for the journaling now. So as usual, go ahead and grab your journal. And the first things first is that we're gonna start with, what are your feelings? How do you feel? And for this one, you don't necessarily need to write it down yet. You can just think with me. So what I feel is some thoughts that went through my mind between yesterday evening and today is, how do I love people more? How do I love people more? Because me being a hyper rational person, I tend to see the world through a lens of what is the most logical thing to be done. What is the most logical thing? What is the most rational thing? But most of the time, people are just simply not logical. They are not rational, and my inability to accept this has make it so that I can't really connect with most people. I can only connect with certain types of people who are already rational, but it is my desire to be able to connect with people regardless of whether they are rational, fully rational or not. Because let's face it, people do crazy shit all the time. So one of the intentions that I have for this last quarter of the year is to learn how to appreciate the craziness of people. Like, the irrationalities, the illogical, the unfathomable, the craziness lah, basically. And I realized that everyone, everyone who has done something, accomplished something huge, something big, they don't do it themselves. And the reason why they're able to enroll people and have fun interacting with them is because first they love them, they love people. If I can't love you, how the hell am I supposed to have fun, doing things with you? So that is the key here. I think that will be my breakthrough for this last quarter of the year. um, and it is something that I really want to consider about. I just saw a quote by no, no, not yeah, Swami Vivekananda. He said that it is not that it is not that the husband loves the wife for the wife's sake, is sort of for the husband's sake. It is also not that the wife loves the husband for the husband's sake. It is the God in the wife that the husband loves. It is the God in the husband that the wife loves. If we can see God in everyone, if we can see God in every being, how can we not love? So I think this is a question, but it is a big question, huge question. I think I want to think about it today. So with that being said, let's go into the journaling. So first things first, write down the today's date. Okay, so it's 5th October 20. It's a Monday. Thank you note. First, now when you write a thank you note, write down the thank you the date, the end of the year. Okay, like the future you has written a letter to submit back to the past. And for me, it starts with 31st December 2020. Felix, thank you for staying joyfully committed. As a result, we have dot dot dot. And then you write down anywhere between 3 to 10 intentions, not desires, intentions that you have for this year. Hey, oops, what the hell? Okay, sorry about that. So now, after you have done the intentions for the year, we're gonna go into the intentions for the day. All right. So intentions for the day, when it comes to setting your own intention, what you should be doing is setting the kind of intentions that requires the cooperation of nobody but yourself, and that is how you're gonna go about it. So for today, my intention is to continue my cleanup. I want to make sure it's clean up house, and primarily I'm a big um, in my experience of going through life. I used to be a big hoarder. Nowadays, I'm moving towards minimalism. And in my experience, I felt that whenever the house is more cluttered, things feel pretty much, how do I put it? You feel hard to think. I'm not sure if anyone you've ever experienced that before, but if you have ever had a messy house, okay, if you have a very messy house or messy room, when you suddenly go into a new environment where there's just really little clutter, how do you feel? You can just ask yourself that. And what I felt was that the there's a certain sense of clarity. Just because there's not so many things occupying my vision, asking me what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this, it just feels a lot more smoother. I can think a lot more better. So I want to make it so that my living environment is like this. I want to make it minimalistic. I want to make it as having as minimal things as possible. So today I'm going to be throwing out more and more things. That is what it means, clean up house. Plus, every time I do this, I would like to make it so that I can shift my damn laptop so, so I can write things properly, because it's hard to write this on my laptop. Number two. Let me see my schedule. I have a couple of appointments today, so I'm going to do it. Do all my appointments with, it's so hard writing like this, total involvement. So the essence of it is this. Rich Levin says that all the wealth you could ever want exists in this conversation. So this statement there really is really nice, because it makes you realize that it really gets you being present into the now, talking with people. So I think that's a very, very, very important thing. It's not one of the hardest things to do when talking to people is the distractions of our own mind. And when you're distracted from the conversation with someone, it becomes a weird thing in a sense that the other people can pick it up. You're in your head. You won't be able to be in flow. You won't be able to connect with the reason why you're having the conversation in the first place. And whatever the intention that you have, bring it into the conversation when you're talking to people in that kind of state. It's going to be very, very hard to do. So today I have these few interviews lined up, or rather these few appointments lined up, and things will go nicely if, let's say, I am able to have the conversation with them properly. So I'm just going to do that, and from there onwards, see how things goes on. And finally, I think that's all. I have a pretty full day. I don't want to load up too many intentions. Let's not forget, accept the bloody hunger. Accept the hunger, Felix. This has been kind of like my permanent pit stop, permanent intention. Accept the hunger, accept the hunger, accept the hunger, because I feel hungry, man. I feel so hungry. Now we're going to move into legacy. Legacy tasks are tasks which will buy you time. So things that put food on the table is not considered legacy task. So legacy task, my legacy task would be asking myself, how can I explain less? Because it just occurred to me that every time I do this, I look forward to doing it, but I don't look forward to explaining why I do each and every step. So maybe I can do something about that. Yeah, yeah, I like that question. How can I see the God in people? That's all. And with that being said, I am now gonna go back to sleep. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tonight at 6:30 if you're coming.